this tape will give you an idea of the scope of this disaster, because it's absolutely incredible. We went with a crew from Ken's TV in San Antonio to the Gulf Coast. What you're looking at there is the Bay St. Louis Bridge. There's no bridge there. Look carefully.
Right.
What you're seeing are simply the pilings.
Pilings.
The entire bridge is gone. Scott, the photographer, and Dusty, the pilot. Dusty's from San Antonio, and Scott is from Portland, Oregon, and neither one of them could believe what they were seeing as they were shooting. The only thing left of that bridge is the drawbridge. Now, this is the railroad bridge that crosses Bay St. Louis. There's nothing left of it, too. In fact, you can see the spans lying in the water off to the side. The entire bridge was stripped off of its foundation and tossed into the bay by the storm surge. Again, the only thing left on that railroad bridge was the drawbridge in the middle of it. In Waveland, as we passed over Slidell, we saw serious damage. There was damage to roofs, trees were down and everything. By the time we hit Waveland and Bay St. Louis, we were beginning to see serious structural damage. And then we hit this bridge. Now, those of you who remember Camille will remember that the bridge was shifted, because I remember flying over this very same bridge. The bridge was there, but the spans were shifted, were picked up and shifted by the waves.
Gosh.
They weren't destroyed. They weren't knocked out.
And here they were.
And look, there's nothing left. You can't even see the spans. You don't know where they are.
Right.
And if you think that's bad, there's a lot more coming.
And this was all of the Gulf Coast?
Yes, this is Bay St. Louis, just in the town of Bay St. Louis. And we had to fly a little bit high here. We're about 1,500 feet because we were crossing the water. But you can see, look, there's a few of the spans are left lying sideways. Now, you know how big those concrete spans, anybody who's driven under the interstate knows how big and heavy those concrete, and water did that. That's the power of the storm surge created by a hurricane.
Jesus. It's just amazing.
You've probably been hearing people over the last day or two talk about how, I know Mississippi Governor Haley Barbour compared this to Hiroshima just after the atom bomb was dropped on that city at the end of World War II. Having flown over the Mississippi Gulf Coast after Camille when I was 17, and checking this damage now as a comparison, I can tell you this is worse than Camille was. You can see all of the Bayside places just destroyed. There were restaurants and homes right in there. This will be a very familiar sight to those who remember there was a toll station there right at the bend. That was where you paid tolls to cross Bay St. Louis before Hurricane Camille. It was buried under a huge pile of debris, and they stopped collecting the tolls when they rebuilt the bridge. Now, once again, in that corner, there is another huge pile of debris.
Wow.
Now we're coming out past Henderson Point.
It's everywhere.
And those are the railroad tracks. We saw the railroad bridge a minute ago.
Right.
Those railroad tracks run 2 blocks off the beach. Look at the pile of debris. What you're looking at, those are the beachfront houses. That's all that's left of them. As Scott widens out, we have a helicopter mounted on the camera rather, mounted on the helicopter. All of that debris on Sunday, those were homes. Now, you and I remember sitting here as the hurricane came through, and we were talking about the fact that Mississippi might feel the strongest blow.
This is fine.
The most of the winds and the most of the storm surge. We said the storm surge could be 30 feet. And there it is. Look, there's nothing left.
That's what I was going to ask. Is there anything?
Look, there are no structures left. You can see pools. You can see foundations. In a few cases, you can see walls left.